Morning, beautiful souls. Back to your daily divine messages from Spirit. You may be hearing the background noise outside of my house. I don't know if you can pick up on that. But we have our heart chakra sound bowl coming to life a little bit stronger. So that we can connect with the heart of a woman and the soul of mankind through conscious love. Thank you, Spirit. Some of you may be feeling as you're trying to connect to your heart chakra, as your heart chakra is going through a grandiose awakening, ascension. Maybe it feels like it's shattering. Maybe you feel like you went through a heartbreak. Maybe you're grieving as you're healing from loss or change. Maybe you've been activated by divine love and now you are stepping into a higher version of yourself, a truer, more authentic frequency of your soul, so that you can align with your soul purpose, your soul person. Maybe it feels like it keeps going in and out. It's the expansion and contraction, where it starts to expand and then it goes in. Maybe it feels like there's a high and then a low. But that is the natural space of expansion and contraction of the breath of life, says Spirit. That is the natural ebb and flow, the waves of serenity is what I just heard. The waves of life. It might get louder, it might get bigger, it might get better, and then it might get quieter, smaller, worse. And how we are able to navigate through it all is our kind of measurement of where we are on our soul healing journey. It doesn't mean that if things go awry, you know, and you get upset, doesn't mean you're not allowed to be upset about things. It doesn't mean you're not allowed to have feelings and to have the feelings that are the natural human emotions of anger or fear or anxiety even. And Indigo and I just watched the first and second Inside Out so that we could really tune into our emotions, recognizing that they're natural states of being to protect us as humans. That's the beautiful thing about being on a human experience, is being able to feel the emotions. So this message might be resonating with someone. And if you are tuning in and this resonates with you, then this message is for you, beloved. So allow your heart to heal, to open, to grieve, to mourn. Allow your heart to feel, first and foremost. Don't ask for other people to validate your emotions. Don't ask for other people to tell you, well, you can or cannot feel those things, that you should or should not be feeling those things. If you feel them, you feel them. And it's important to honor them as such. Honor them as they come through. Don't judge them. Radical acceptance is what this time is for. Today is the first day of a brand new history, a brand new era. Today, Pluto has transitioned officially into Aquarius. And we'll be stationed here for the next 20 years until 2044. This is huge, you guys. This is the last, yesterday was the last day that Pluto was in Capricorn for our lifetimes. The last time Pluto was in Aquarius was like 200 years ago, 1700s. I think it was towards the end of 1700. So this is really big. That's why I want to see what messages Spirit has for how we can prepare for this. Given that Aquarius is the humanitarian, the individual humanitarian, right? The individual who is not afraid to think outside the box, who's not afraid to be innovative and to be out there, even if no one else understands where they're coming from. Aquarius is also the one who still, even as they are on their own individual journey, are still always thinking about humanity as a whole. Very, very, which is interesting for an air sign because of the mental, the air signs of the mental, but also very, very accurate because they're also of communication, of consciousness, air signs. And the Aquarius is the aqua carrier, the water holder. So they are the ones they're the only ones that aren't an animal, right? They're the water holder, which means they are able to hold the emotions. They're able to hold space, is what I'm hearing, for our intuitive, emotional journey to undergo, to unfold, to travel, right? You carry your water in something that it can hold it. Otherwise, water does what? It disperses. It goes through all the cracks and crevices that it can, because it is a formable, or what's the word? Formable? I think I just made that up. But you know what I'm saying, like, it doesn't have shape or form. It's a formless matter. And so the Aquarius, the aqua holder, is the one that gives it structure, gives it something that it can be held in. So for those who are water signs or have water in your chart, Aquarius might be good friends of yours. You know, this Pluto in Aquarius might also allow you to transform how you are able to hold space for your emotions in a very, very humanitarian way, on the level of the whole, as opposed to just you, while still being able to be uniquely, independently you. It's a very, very curious space, the Aquarius is. But that's why I think that they are one of the most fascinating signs, because they really do have this intrinsic adaptability, but also they're fixed air signs, so they don't they don't like to adapt necessarily, but when their consciousness, when their mental, when their thoughts, their communications are open or are set on something, they really go with it. They don't care. It's hard for an Aquarius to change their mind when they have their mind set on something, because they trust in their own intuition, because they're holding space for the water, for their emotions and intuition. Now the thing about Aquarius too is that can also be hard to crack and allow those emotions to come out, because they're holding on to them so tight in that fixed nature. So definitely this time, I'm just picking up some channeling before I even look at this tarot card that came through from Spirit, but just channeling messages here. I'm hearing that during this time of Pluto and Aquarius, this is going to really shift our humanity in the sense of how we look at the collective, which is a beautiful thing, mean, if you look back on it too, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius, it was through all these huge revolutionary wars. I'm not predicting war of any sort, but I'm also not saying that that's not something to be, you know, mindful and prepared for, on a spiritual and mental and emotional level, because even if it's not as a collective war, it may be an internal war. And it may be both, like, you know, not trying to scare anyone or trigger anyone, but to look back on it from the standpoint of history and realizing, especially as we come out of this, you know, we've been in Aquarius or in Capricorn since 2008. And those, you know, think about the last 16 years and how that was for you. You know, January of 2008. And so thinking about that, you know, recognizing where we were in that space and time, and how much 16 years has changed amongst humans, the collective, the energy, the frequency. And we have been kind of preparing for this with the revolutionaries that are happening, but also Capricorn is of tradition, of structure. Capricorn is an earth sign, and it's very much around, you know, these kind of systematic structures of what has always been, or what is in place, or what is the traditional acceptable kind of way. But Aquarius is the innovator. Innovation means to create something completely new that's never been done before, and that can be very, very dismantling for the structures that Capricorn has been setting in place the last 16 years, right? And so thinking about it from that standpoint, and then again thinking about the fact that the last time that we were in Aquarius, Pluto was in Aquarius, was during all these revolutionary wars, we have to be mindful. Pluto is a transformational planet, okay? It is no small planet. It is a life-changing planet. And it moves slowly. Hence the 20 years we'll be in it, in Aquarius. And which means we may not see things really shifting for for a couple of years. We may be able to start to feel the structures within us. And I know yesterday, it's crazy how yesterday, the last day of Pluto and Capricorn, it was raining all day, and it was just shifting energies. You could just see and feel the shifting of the energies, and I was just purging as a very, very strong empath and channel to the collective, purging so much because we are preparing for so much awakening. So if that is something that you're also going through, allow yourself, again, that space to hold that energy, that emotion. Be the water carrier, the emotional carrier that Aquarius is. Okay, so the hand, what I have in my hand, look, and this is just confirmation because that's all that tarot is. We have the King of Crystals in reverse, the King of Pentacles. So what Spirit wants to prepare us for, again, is that deconstruction. Yeah, I guess that's the word, deconstructuring. I just made that up, but destructuring of our systems, of what the pentacles of earth, of stability. It might feel very unstable, but that's because when a site is going under construction, when a highway has to go under reconstruction, what does if the house or the building doesn't have a firm foundation, which we have the Six of Pentacles here at the bottom of the deck, if it's not balanced, in order for the house or the building to have a healthy foundation, you can't just there's nothing you can do if you have a cracked foundation in a house or a building other than completely destruct it. And the only thing you can do is clear it out and start over. Now, I'm not saying that this is message from spirit again. This is so that for balance. So it might feel really chaotic. It might feel unstable right now. The masculine is what I'm hearing is with the King of Crystals, the masculine collective may also have a major, I don't know why the word isn't wanting to come through, deconstruction, destructuring. Just making these words up. Spirit is just saying all these words that I don't even know if they're actually like real words. But that's the energy that I'm trying to like put into human form. The masculine collective, the masculine empire, the patriarchal empire I'm also hearing, but also, the masculine collective of the distorted, of what I'm hearing, money, the financial balance, the financial imbalance, I'm hearing the like going from lower class to middle class to high class, like those are going to be also shifting. I had a really big download yesterday during my meditation and just integration bath was that the school systems are also going to be going through some major change and transformation during this Pluto in Aquarius. There's going to be some huge, huge shifts in the way that children are being taught, in the way that children are being seen, and the way that teachers are handling children, specifically star seeds is what I'm hearing. Specifically star children who have beautiful gifts and talents and abilities and intuitions and kind of those psychic abilities, but also those innovative abilities of completely shifting the way that we look at technology, the way that we build our ecosystem, our economy, the way that we handle. I'm hearing the way we handle with care amongst our children. Our children are becoming much more tapped in, tuned in, turned on the moment they come into this world. They are more awakened and they're staying awakened. It's not as easily as it used to be to program a child into the matrix as soon as they were born. They're staying awakened as the starseed as they are. So the school systems are not able to, they're not holding space for the quality of child that is needed in order for them to really flourish and thrive. Having that really, really just structured, rigid schedule where you have to sit all day and you have to be lectured at and you have to go through all these different classes all day. You can only eat like one time, you have one lunch. I don't understand why elementary schools get one time to eat throughout the day and they just have to sit there and just be talked at my son, for instance, cannot do that. And so because that is not the way that his mind processes, because he is a very, very beautiful, bright child and has, and on the Western culture, Western medicine has assessed him under the scope of autism, highly functioning. But he is a 7-year-old second grader reading at an almost fifth grade level. And so when he's in second grade and they're telling him he's not doing any of his work, it's because he's over it. He's been testing out for 3 years in the high 90th percentile. Okay, and this is not for me to brag on my child. This is for me to recognize that as a parent of a very, very gifted child, how tough it is, and I'm speaking up on this. Spirit wants me to speak up on this because this is what parents are going to be going through over these next couple of decades with Pluto and Aquarius. Because the structure of how children are learning, the structure of how children are being nurtured and seen and appreciated and honored at school for their emotions. You know, I'm even hearing like schools are going to start learning how to understand a child's natal chart in order to really add that into. This is what I'm visualizing, at least. This is what I'm visualizing, at least, that it comes into manifestation, you know. But there's going to be, along with their, you know, IEP, their independent education plan, along with their, you know, assessments and diagnosis that they're given at these, you know, places, they're also going to have their natal chart in their record. And there are going to be people who understand that. There's going to be training for all teachers to be able to understand the basics of a natal chart anatomy, to be able to understand the basics of how to hold space and direct and support a child who is given a diagnosis of a processing functionality that is different than others. It's not a disorder. That's also the wording, the vocabulary is going to change, because if the vocabulary changes, then the mindset around how to judge that child will change. Because a teacher that automatically thinks, oh, this person has ADHD, they're going to just be rambunctious. Oh, this person has autism, they're going to, you know, they're going to have big episodes, or whatever the case might be. They're going to have behavioral issues. Oh, they're just having behavioral issues. They're just having, and it's like, you're only seeing the problem. You're seeing the end result, but you are not seeing the root of the cause. And how to be able to, you might be able to see that it is beyond this, and see that this is just not a structured space that is well suited for this child. And that's what I'm hearing, that the public school systems are going to have to change, because not everyone can afford private schools or Montessori's or homeschool. Not everyone can afford being able to put their child in to all of the programs and after school that they need and deserve. But every child deserves to be understood by their teacher and not told that their emotions are unnecessary, or that they shouldn't be upset or crying because they're not babies, or whatever the case may be, making them, you know, isolating them, or making them sit on their hands because they can't function, you know. And I understand that the school, if you look at the history of schooling, it has come a long way. There's not child abuse anymore where they're getting whipped by, you know, rulers and completely shunned and shamed, but there's still space that can be, you know, there are teachers that have been, and I'm just doing some full channeling as well as expression, because apparently someone needs to hear this, and maybe you're on the same page, and that's why this needs to come out. But look, I even have the throat chakra here at the bottom of Lemuria. So this throat, express your truth. This is what this revolution, this is what the Pluto and Aquarius is going to be moving us to, is to have us express our truth, sharing our stories. So that's why Spirit wants me to speak my truth right now on my story on this. But anyway, I won't get too much into it. I'll have to do a whole separate video about it, is what I'm hearing. You know, there's going to be bigger communities where starseed children, I'm even hearing schools for starseeds. You know, schools that are, you know, it might be kind of like a Montessori or private school, but like where your gifted, you know, talents and psychic gifts and abilities and strengths and powers are going to be honored and even strengthened, you know. Yeah, look, Mount Shasta again is coming in, and I just hit the bowl. And then gracious receptivity. Yeah, with the high heart chakra awakening here at the bottom. ecstatic bliss, coming into your higher self, your true self, tapping into your bliss. We're going to be able to walk in our bliss. Why? Because our light codes are upgrading as an entire collective, the entire world, this earth frequency is upgrading. Our codes are upgrading. That's why you might be feeling symptoms of needing to rest. You might be feeling symptoms of physical, feeling sick, or releasing and purging and cleansing and clearing out of your body. If you are having actual physical symptoms where you feel sick, I mean, I'm not a professional doctor, but my family is, but I still recommend that you go see your physician or holistic doctors. What I would also recommend, someone who also understands energy, if that is something that you feel that you're going through. Eastern medicine and Western medicine are going to give you completely different responses, and especially if they're in the healing arts or not. So, but still make sure that you are, taking care of your body and seeking professional assistance if you need so. We also have, I love this though, I love that we have gracious receptivity here with the light codes of Mount Shasta upgrading. So I'm hearing spirits say during this time, Lemuria is assisting and aiding us in our upgrades of our light codes. So allow them to upgrade. I'm hearing allow yourself to receive graciously. So if that even means finding, getting a journal right now and just writing out your gratitudes, listing out gratitudes, for 90 seconds at a time, or 3 gratitudes in the morning or at night, or both, that is something that will train your brain to look for things to be grateful for, which then will attract in balance and abundance. I'm also seeing back at the tarot up here with the King of Crystals and the Six of Crystals. There's the King for the masculine energy, and then the Six of Crystals are these 2 girls here, 2 females or feminine energies that I'm seeing. Even though feminine, masculine energy are non-gender, it's all within us. But I am seeing that there's, kind of this heart activation with the King of Crystals. So that's where, again, the high heart chakra is awakening within the masculine collective, so that they can move out of the distorted masculine of feeling like they have to be so rigid, so, what's the word? Stoic. That's kind of that Aquarius energy again as well. Like sometimes you can have a hard time sharing your emotions, opening your emotions, showing your emotions. And I'm hearing to awaken, to allow yourself to feel that bliss. Because you deserve that bliss, because you are worthy of that bliss. And I just noticed here the high heart chakra and the gracious receptivity both have the hummingbirds facing each other. And then the Star of David, as above, so below. Hummingbirds are very loyal companions. They come back every season if they feel comfortable and safe with you. So I'm hearing with under here air, paradigm shift, yep, air with the Aquarius, number 13. I'm hearing you are guided and protected to be able to follow and trust your heart, trust your bliss. I'm hearing this is going to be huge innovations where careers are going to be changing, in the sense of it's not going to be as traditional kind of work where not everyone's going to be working 9 to 5s. People are going to be recognizing, I think that, when we all started having to work from home from the pandemic, like we had to learn how to be innovative at that time. And with the awakening process that these last 16 years have been, it has been preparing us to balance. So where I was going back with that is that masculine and the feminine is like balancing the masculine and feminine energy amongst the earth. We all carry masculine and feminine energy within us of creation. Feminine is of thought, of conception, of the non-physical. The masculine is what brings that thought and conception and idea into the physical. So having that balance where they can work interdependently together within ourselves and within each other, where we can honor and value our roles here. Not roles like traditional Capricorn, gender, patriarchal, roles. I'm talking about the roles of what we are blessed and gifted and brought to this earth for. The roles of letting the feminine rest, letting the feminine be the receiver, right? The feminine energy within us all is the mode of reception, to receive, to learn how to. Six of Pentacles is to give and receive equally, balanced, harmoniously. To give because you want to give, not because you expect something in return, right? It's not a conditional transaction kind of love that we're awakening to. We're moving into, I want to do this because it brings me bliss. I want to move in this and in my gifts and talents because it brings me bliss. I want to move in my higher self. I'm learning how to give and graciously receive with gratitude. Thank you. Sometimes we just don't even know how to say thank you when there is support. And that's a message for everyone. That's a message, even for me. Sometimes we forget, and that has to do with the low vibrations of unworthiness. Feeling that we are not worthy of receiving this new abundance, receiving stability, receiving balance, receiving bliss is what I'm hearing. Learn how to graciously receive bliss. This new earth, this new frequency. It's really beautiful. We just had the full moon in Taurus as well, I'm seeing here, with this Six of Crystals. So something activated in us from this new moon in Taurus that we had just on the 15th. Or I'm sorry, not new moon, full moon. The full moons are of completions of cycles. The Taurus energy is about, is a fixed earth sign. It's about quality versus quantity. It's about valuing. So this full moon may have shifted you out of, what is no longer aligning with your value system. Maybe the things you used to value you no longer, and now you're finally taking the steps to release those so that you can receive graciously what you do value. What you can commit to, what you are loyal to. Bulls, they can say, oh, you're stubborn like a bull, right? But when a bull is fixed on a target, you also cannot stop that bull. Like, you do not want to be in the line of the target of where that bull is going towards, right? So they may be stubborn when they're committed, when they're ready, when they have their eyes lined up. It may take them a little while because they have to really, assess the situation. They really have to, hone in on that, belief, emotions. But once they are determined, there's no stopping a bull, right? And moons are about your emotions. So this full moon in Taurus was activating our emotions around what we value on an emotional basis. Communication, I'm hearing for some people, because we had that throat chakra come through. Bliss, following your purpose, what brings you joy. These are the things that we are awakening to, that activated in us over this full moon for this Pluto and Aquarius transition. Look at this here. We have from Mind Hustle, time to go with the flow and slow your roll. Sit back and let it come to you. I realize I have to kind of spell out the the words that are in here, the bad words, just because YouTube, I think, cuts it out, and I don't want to get in trouble or have my algorithm all messed up because of it. So just time to go with the flow. So as we're talking about that Taurus bull who does not like once they're set on something, there's no change. Same thing with this Aquarius. Aquarius is the fixed air sign. So maybe some of you have an Aquarius and Taurus in your chart. And if so, that can be really, 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 and we're still in Scorpio season, which is the water fixed sign. So right now, this full moon, for if you are an Aquarius, Taurus, Scorpio, you may have been feeling extreme intensity in this awakening, and that's okay. But this is the time now, as we're entering this Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius, it's going to transform you. It's going to completely transform you by facing your fears. Pluto is the sign of the underworld, of death and transformation, by facing your fears. So this spirit is saying it's time to go with the flow. You may want to be fixed and hold on to what you believe to be true. You may want to be fixated on what has already been and what your belief systems. But I'm hearing, allow your belief systems to just to receive all. I'm not saying to change and conform, your values, but to really reassess. That's what this is going to do. And so stay open to receiving. Keep your heart open as it's being activated and upgraded, and allow yourself to let go, surrender the control of needing to have the outcome come out the way you want it. The way you think it has to be. Surrender the need to control every situation. Your emotions, I'm even hearing. You cannot control your emotions. Look, we have another throat chakra energy here with the 4 agreements next steps. Speak openly and honestly. Okay? We have the 3rd agreement, don't make assumptions. So some of you might be interested in or called to checking out my chakra healing series. If you are, they may have some additional messages. The playlist is in my description box if you want to take a look at the throat chakra and the high heart chakra, since they did come out today. When you speak openly and honestly, you won't have to make assumptions. The day you stop making assumptions, you will communicate cleanly and clearly and achieve impeccability with your word. When you speak openly and honestly and refuse to eat emotional poison, it says here at the bottom of this deck. Refuse to eat emotional poison. Yeah, this is really beautiful. Don't take anything personally. Blow it out. I'm hearing major transmuting with that. Refuse to eat emotional poison. Okay, don't take anything personally. Transmute it. She's blowing the dandelion and making a wish, which means expanding what she wants into this earth and changing what the dandelion, the nature of the dandelion, which at that point is at its very tail end. It has died and it's fluffy, and so now all there is left are the seeds. So you could blow, instead of allowing it to just be in that dead space, blowing out, transmuting and changing the structure of this dandelion, turning it into something that can multiply. Making a wish as you blow it so you can manifest what you want. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. Speaking openly and honestly of what you want, transmuting that emotional poison. When we talk about these emotions here, Okay, sometimes there are fixed beliefs that we don't realize that we have been agreeing to for so long because that's how the system has been. Because that's how society has been, has told us that we have to show up in this kind of distorted kind of masculine of greed, of, you know, hostility, of ego and pride, of materialism, of shallow, I'm hearing egocentric kind of life. But it's time to shift that. It's time to balance it out. Six of Pentacles is the minor arcana of the Justice card. And we are shifting and balancing it with by tapping into our highest version of ourselves, because we are upgrading to our highest timelines. Transforming graciously, receiving as above, so below, and becoming loyal to our companions, loyal to our values, loyal to our belief systems that are healthy and healing. Really evaluating evaluating. That's where value comes from, right? Evaluating, re-evaluating, so that you can really move in bliss, in ecstasy. It's really beautiful. So I hope this helps. I hope this resonates with you. And if it did, feel free to give this video a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe to my channel, Princess Leah 888. And hit that notification bell if you'd like to know whenever I am posting or going live. In fact, it is Tuesday, which means Tea+Tarot Tuesday. So be on the lookout. I will be going live face to camera, where we'll be sipping on the tea, sipping on some of my tea from my FemRems apothecary, and tapping into the energy, get the tea of this energy of what this week is to come. And we're going to dive into a lot more about this masculine and feminine energy as we pull for the collective of the masculine and feminine energy in much more depth tonight. So if that is something that you are interested in, then feel free to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. And I'll see you this evening. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, a Tea+Tarot Soul session, you will receive a 1 ounce loose leaf tea from my FemRems apothecary. And you can reach out to me. My information is in the description box below. You can also find me on my social media if you want to reach out to me there on TikTok or Instagram, Princess Leah 888. Until next time, my beautiful beloveds, thank you for being here with me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Peace and love. Namaste.